So we're back, bustling and live, the Solutions Exchange VMworld 2018, and doing my round of security people and security companies. I'm here with Patrick from Hytrust. Patrick, hi, how are you?
Hi, Jory. Nice to see you.
Thank you. So I work for the NSBU as well, so I work with NSX products. And I think one of the challenges that I have when I'm talking to customers is, I always get that question, yeah, but now my network and security guys need to go into the NSX Manager or they need to go into the vSphere, and they're playing around in the same console. How do I separate these groups from each other? And I know that you guys have a solution. Could you explain to me what you guys have for this?
Yeah, we do have a solution, and we've been working together with VMware from a security standpoint for over 10 years. So we've collected a lot of best practices in terms of how you can create policy and then enforce policy. And I think especially in recent years as virtual networking has become more and more important, microsegmentation has become more and more important, our solution has actually lent quite a bit to the vSphere and the NSX environment by providing the ability to set security controls, very granular security controls that could then propagate in both environments from one place. So you can set security policy. We become a security policy engine that manages role-based access controls for both the vSphere and the NSX environment. It manages things like object-based access controls, which allow you to say, not only the people I want on my system can only do what I want them to do and nothing else, but these things, this data type or these VMs or these segments, only these things can be done with them. And then the third piece of the puzzle is being able to have a fail-safe mechanism for anything that's a particularly sensitive operation, sending it to secondary approval through a workflow. So we would use these techniques to lock down the virtual environment with vSphere and NSX in a customer that would have both solutions and would be moving to a full software-defined data center environment.
Okay. So I mean, the customers I talk to, we talk about Hytrust as well in those solutions to get those organizations to work together. What I'm just a one-off question to you is, as VMware, we're trying to build these on-premises clouds, and we're telling all of our customers, so you need to break down your silos, you need to create new cloud groups. How does I kind of get the feeling that your product is still making that silo possible. Is that a correct analogy?
It actually is, and I would actually say that one of the things that we do very well with customers and for customers together with VMware is help them with segmentation. So, and let me give you an example. Let's say you're a European bank and you have three main types of business. You've got an investment bank, you've got wealth management, and you've got a retail bank. And you've got operations in the Americas, in Europe, and in Asia. You could, within your private cloud that's built on top of VMware, require 9 virtual private clouds. So utilizing our capabilities with access controls, we can create the full separation at the administrative level in both the network and at the virtual server level, as well as we have technology that was developed with us, you, and Intel that allows us to place workloads only on servers, physical servers, that are assigned to a specific virtual private cloud. So now you've created a boundary around this segment, and those 9 segments can be completely separate from one another on one cloud. So I don't know if that's breaking the barriers down as much as it's providing the real separation that those customers actually need between the business units and the functions.
I mean, that's a great explanation. And if you look at the customers, they're moving from an old style infrastructure to an SDDC, and then now going into on-premises cloud, and with your solution, multi-clouds on that one cloud hardware. I mean, I think this is great. So one of the other things I want to touch upon is one of the other pain points that my customers are feeling is about key management. And we all feel it, whether it be for the encryption or the lockers. What do you guys have for that?
Well, the timing of VMware's bringing out encryption as a standard part of the enterprise software for both vSphere and vSAN is actually pretty fantastic. It really matches up with what's going on in the marketplace as a requirement for data protection. I mean, we see GDPR here in Europe. We see data protection laws in New York State. We see them now all over the world. Many of them are based on GDPR, but then add pieces to it. Different countries in Europe have have their own flavors of GDPR, and Germany, Switzerland in particular, have very strict data sovereignty laws as well as data protection. The thing is, in all of these cases, there's one technology that's ubiquitous, and that's encryption. And so everybody's recommending encrypt your data, especially your critical data, your critical internal data, but more importantly, your customer data, right? Because now we all have responsibility to safeguard our customers' data. In fact, we have a legal responsibility to safeguard it. So you're bringing out encryption that's a standard part of the hypervisor, or is a standard part of the hyper-converged ready nodes. I think the timing is excellent. Now, we've had our own encryption product for a long time, and it's been rolled out in many, many VMware environments. But it's based on the guest operating system and encrypting that and the storage connections, whereas yours is focused on the hypervisor. So customers that need one type of encryption based on their own needs, or need another type of encryption, we've got solutions for them. You do, and we do, and then the good news is together we have one key management solution for them, because the key manager we built for our encryption, which we call data control, can be sort of removed like Velcro and right on top of vSphere and vSAN encryption. So as a result, we're the recommended key manager for VMware in these different environments, and many customers have a hybridized environment where they may have workloads that can't move, that they don't want to move. And the issue is, sometimes moving a workload requires that you decrypt it and move it in the clear. Well, in this case, they would use our encryption, because encrypting at the guest operating system level makes it portable. But there are going to be some times where they have workloads in clusters that are never going to move, and where the vSphere or vSAN encryption is exactly the right prescription. The same key manager, one key manager, essentially a federated key manager, can manage both environments within the same customer from one pane of glass as a key management solution. So I think that's why we have so much momentum right now. We've won hundreds of customers together, and vSAN in particular is taking off like a rocket for us and for you guys. Obviously, it's your fastest growing product area, and for us, it's probably our fastest growing area of connection with you is providing keys for the vSAN environment.
So, I mean, it sounds like you've got all the bases covered. There's going to be one last one, and I know what your answer is going to be. What about the data?
Well, the data protection is all about protecting the workload where the data lives. Okay. And so that's something that we do in combination, right? And look, the FBI in particular says you need a multi-layered approach. Well, multi-layer means only the guys I want on my system can get on, so you need multi-factor authentication. It means only they can do what I want them to do, so there you need access controls. It means that only these objects, which could be the VMs that carry the critical data, can have these functions done to them. And then it means also looking in the rearview mirror, being able to apply real security techniques to forensics. For example, somebody has a role that allows them to do something, they do it, but maybe the manager messed up and gave them too many privileges. Now what do? Well, we have to look and see who did what, when did they do it, what did they do, what was the code before they made the change, and what was the code afterwards, so we can remediate very, very quickly. And the combination of what you guys do with vSphere, what you do with NSX, and what we do with cloud control to wrap around that environment allows us to remediate very, very quickly. And the data is typically an issue of the data that needs to be remediated. Somebody made a mistake, they deleted too many VMs, they placed too many zeros in the delete order, or maybe they accidentally migrated a workload into a place that they shouldn't have, and so we can now remediate, but more importantly, through a combination of your encryption, our encryption, key management, we can make sure that that data stays secure, even if a mistake happens with it.
Cool, Patrick, thank you very much for this conversation. It was good talking with you. Thank you very much.